Hello everyone, my name is Dellair Youssef and this is Revision Soziokultur podcast. Um, who are you and can you please individually introduce yourselves?
So I'm Nora. I'm 26 years old and currently live in Hamburg. And my full-time job is working at an ad agency. I'm a social media manager. And with that knowledge, I came to Fluid Festival 2 years ago. And I'm part of the public relations team. And I've been there from the very start, doing the Instagram account and posting on all our other channels like Telegram, our website, SoundCloud, and just working closely with other departments like booking and our awareness team to get our message out there and let people know that we exist.
Yeah, I can continue. My name is Josh. My pronouns are he, him. I'm 28 years old, and my part in Fruit Festival crew is in the teams of organizational development and fundings. So, for example, getting the funding of Soziokultur. I come from a similar background. Job-wise, I worked as a grant application manager. I think that's the correct translation. So also in the field of fundings in Hamburg. And now I'm switching my focus to more organizational and team development things. And that's my main interest, like how teams work with each other, how they develop individually, but also as a team. And over the years, I got more interested in what's happening in the background, and not at the forefront, like production or booking, curation in general, but more how can I support the structures with money or with knowledge, input. Yeah, that's where I'm coming from.
My name is Elisa. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a white cis woman. I'm also able-bodied, and I have a German passport. And I'm queer. That's like the kind of check-in we do at our awareness calls. That's why I repeated that now. I'm also in the organizational development team like Josh, and also in the funding team like Josh. And actually, I studied law with Josh. And at Fluid, my interest is actually pretty wide. At the festival, I worked for awareness coordination. I made lighting at a floor for one night. Yeah, I also worked in the back office, so I have a really broad overview of the work we are doing. So my interest is actually right now in knowledge transfer within our organization and general development of fluids. So where are we and where do we want to go and how do we want to evolve? Yeah.
Okay, so but before we go to the future, tell me a bit about the past. How did you start and how many people are working there? Why did you choose this name?
So we founded Fluid Festival, I think it was 2 years ago in 2020. And it originated from another music collective that was hosting parties in Hamburg and Lüneburg. And the collective was hoping to build something that would last a little longer than just a party for a night. And that when the idea came up to found a festival, and from that, a new team was founded. And then we worked with 10 people for a while, trying to organize the festival, and realized that that's not enough, that we need a bit more. And asked some friends if they would want to help. And that's how we operated for a while. The the group of 10 people with some friends helping. And then we became more people. Like we started a process of I don't really, I'm searching for the words, for more people. Yeah, we started a process of applications, and we did that, or we are doing that for the second time now. And at the moment, we are a group of around 40 people, I would say. That's the main crew. And we are organized in different departments, I would say, like smaller teams, for example, PR or booking, awareness, and food, stuff like that. And every team has a coordination person, and this group of coordination people comes together, and also the big group comes together to talk about things. It's really hard to explain in English. I've never had to do that before.
It's
I
okay.
hope
You're
it.
doing great job.
So yeah, at the moment we are around a bit less than 40 people, I would say, but we are in the process of gaining new people at the moment. So hopefully we will be a bit more in a few weeks.
Yeah, I can further add on it. We also found an association. I think that's the correct word. So Heterotopie e.V. is the name. So we are a registered association, which is gemeinnützig. Elisa, you know the word?
Non-profit.
Yeah, thanks. So that happened within the process of what Nora just described. So we kind of got institutionalized on the way. And I think there's an interesting bridge. I mean, because you also want to find out what socioculture is. Nora mentioned people were doing this collective in Hamburg before. So I think at that time it was quite underground and subcultural work. And we got bigger, and we professionalized ourselves, even founded this association, and I think there you can see where things start and where they can go to. Like now we are in a festival, known outside of the region of Hamburg. So that's rather a public and known thing. And before it was quite small and local, but over the course of the last 2 to 3 years, it just grew.
This is like a bit interesting because you kind of knew, but I've been told through my colleagues, and I search a bit about you, and there's like looks like people like you and like other projects and individuals want to work with you. And do you know why? Do you analyze that?
I think it's because we hit a nerve at the moment, because people are searching for a safer party, and it's becoming more of a topic that you don't just want to go out and have fun, but that there are also dangers when you go out, and that not every person feels safe when they go out, and that there are certain kind of groups, who are more in danger than other groups. For example, I'm safer as a white woman that a POC person would be when I'm going out, and we are trying to come up with concepts to make people feel as safe as possible. And I think, a lot of people realize that this becomes more important, and are happy that people come up with concepts. And then in a combination with a great booking that is also referring to those concepts. So we try to not have the standard techno booking with only white male cis dudes, but have a diverse booking as well, and try to show what the music scene has to offer other than what people already know. And I think this is a combination that people really like and hope to see more of in the music scene at the moment.
Fair enough. I will move to like another topic now. And as I told you before, I would like to talk about sustainability. And if you see this word, like first thing you will think about and is like environment, but then maybe you will think about the UN development goal for like 2030, which talking about, I don't know, zero hunger, quality, good health, clean water, climate actions, etc. And in your website, you have like a full page like on sustainability, and you describe that, and that's pretty rare to see that in such a project. Why you have this page? Why this is like you care about it, and what does it mean for you?
I think there are multiple answers to this question. I think Fluid and Flugmodus, the collective before, most of the people went to a university that is focused on sustainability. So I have to admit where I think that this being sensitive about sustainability is all in our heads, because the first semester all we heard about was sustainability and I couldn't hear that word anymore. And I think on the other hand, it's also our desire to do everything perfect. I see that kind of desire in every team we have. And not thinking about sustainability in 2022 within our generation, to me, is impossible. But maybe that's also a bit our bubble, you know? Yeah, that is my first thoughts on this question. And I think we're also thinking not only about ecological sustainability, but also a social and cultural sustainability, and also within the resources in our team. So, are we working too much? Are we sleeping too less? Are we eating enough? These are questions I had at the festival. And yeah, I think we can still make us more sustainability in many ways. But
It's like, sorry for interrupting, but it's like pretty interesting when you say like it's maybe only in your bubble. What does that mean?
I mean, we're all academics. I think that is maybe a bubble, because when I look at the world, there's still a lot of room for sustainability. And sometimes I think, okay, maybe it's not our generation, but it's our bubble of privileged white academic people who think about sustainability. I mean, when you see how many people are voting for the Green Party in Germany, it's mostly this kind of background. So maybe it's a cliche. I'm not so sure. I didn't do enough research on that.
Yeah, maybe I can add in here. I think what is important to realize, or what was important for us to realize, is that we have a responsibility when we do a festival. For us, Fluid Festival is not a commodity. It's more the chance to bring people together and to either experiment on how do we want to celebrate and be together for a weekend, but also to put certain values in the center. And we have the chance to get in touch with people, and hopefully or potentially after the festival they enter into everyday life with a changed attitude, or they gain some insight on other topics. I mean, when it comes to sustainability and the let's say at least ecological sustainability, there are other festivals which are way more focusing on that. So I have to say we're new. We're a pretty young festival. We just happened to do it one time. We're still in learning process. That applies to all our fields, especially awareness. So yeah, we have to, Elisa said, we have the desire to be really good or to be perfect, but it's just a desire. We definitely are not perfect, and we are on a learning process. That is really important for us.
I want to interrupt before even Nura talk. I'm like, again, on your website, you said like sustainability is something like a process, not a target. Does it like fitting in what you say now, or is it a different thing?
I'm not sure if I'm getting your question right, but when we say it's a process, it's we are not done when we just did a carbon emission measuring, which we did for the first time this year. We want to look beyond, and what can we do beyond that? Like, okay, we emitted carbon dioxide, but what do we do next? Like, can we invest in some moors to degrade, or I don't know what might be next. So that is what we mean by process. We always try to look further. Okay, what can we learn next, and what can we apply next? And not, okay, yeah, we're done now. We did like the minimum, what people expect. We just have this urge or desire to continuously get better and learn for ourselves and for the festival. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, it does. And Nura wanted to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little thing. Like, as I said before, the goal is to create something that lasts for longer, and the only way that we can achieve that is if we are as sustainable as possible. But because if we have no environment where we can place a festival, then there will be no festival. And also, it's like in the nature of so big events that there are factors that are not sustainable. Like, and if we look at bigger festivals that don't have any concept, like it's a really, really big negative impact on the environment. And yeah, we want to try out new concepts because it's not something that we want to miss. Like, we love going to festivals and we love having a good time there, but we have to see if there are new concepts, how we can do that for even in 10 or 15 years. And yeah, that's for sure a process because we are learning new things and have to implement new things. And but the focus is to take the responsibility and try to create something that will be there in the future.
Okay, I'll take it from there and connect it a bit to what Elisa said before. That is again the bubble, and then you said like something out of the region. People are coming from out of Hamburg region. So my question would be like, what does your work mean to like your region? So the local region, which is Hamburg, and how does like do you feel there's like an effect or like you leave on the people and there or like who come to the festival at least and in the future I don't know or like maybe now if you get bigger does it like what effect do you hope to leave on the country or on the scene?
Well, I hope to leave the effect on people we closely work together with, for example, booking agencies or other festivals that we're in exchange with, or I don't know, big partners like in the field of security or awareness. I have the hope that they see, okay, you can do a festival this way, and that they ask questions towards other festivals. Hey, why don't you do it this way? We witnessed it's working or it's possible. So by networking and by exchanging to spread, for example, the approach that you don't or that you shouldn't plan an event on security matters just by thinking in terms of security persons, but by integrating awareness concepts from the very beginning. So what most festivals, or not just festivals, like big events, what big events do, they have a security concept and or safety concept, and they think in terms of, okay, how is it going to be safe? But who defines what is safe? and who's writing these concepts. So most of the time, awareness perspectives are missing out. And just, I don't know, some weeks before the event, they are like, okay, yeah, well, we need an awareness team, but that's way too late. So then you miss out on approaching it holistically. So in this particular example, we try to push forward that events in the future don't see security just as, okay, we need a security firm, but we need a whole holistic concept of awareness and security, and even paramedics that have meetings before and that work closely together. So I don't know if I should call it pioneering, but maybe that's the word. This is what I hope.
Okay, and do you feel you already left an effect on on someone, or like some people you work with, or your visitors, or I don't know how you call them, visitors?
Yeah, visitors or participants. I think, well, we had some surveys afterwards, and people were saying on not only in the survey but also through our social media accounts that they had the best festival experience and that they felt way more safer than at other events. So this kind of feedback makes us want to do it again and even improve on it, because that's the goal. Like, people can feel safer. Probably an event is never 100% safe. That's utopian, but so when it comes to guests, the feedback was really, really good. Of course, there are things we can improve. Sure, it was our first edition. Yeah, but that was one feedback that was really striking out.
You're already planning for next year, right?
Yes, we are right in it. Right now we are, like, we were reflecting on last festival, and right now we have a open application, so people can join our crew. And right now we are having these calls of getting to know people and thinking about, yeah.
Do you know when it's gonna be, the dates?
No, it's we're looking for a new area to do our festival, because we had a hard time dealing with right structures in the area in Brandenburg, south of Berlin, where our event took place. That's a very, very big issue to us, and we're really concerned about violence from right wing. We, as a crew, didn't feel safe, and our guests, or it's we assume that it's not possible for our guests to feel safe in this environment.
Okay, as much as I understand, and maybe correct me, that's like, I don't want to call it, but it's kind of political, right? What you're doing is like, it's music festival, but also it's like kind of, there's this activism level on it, like this political activism, or social activism. I definitely like that personally. And you're always like aiming to have like an impact. You want to change something in the community in general, right? Not only with like booking agencies. And I know that like we always use this like I don't want to, how do I call it, big sentences, like something like, I want to change, everybody feels safe, I don't want like right wing to take over, I don't want radicals to, I don't know, take over, everybody's like safe and like can say whatever they want or do whatever they want. But we know that's not possible yet, and it's like change is like steps. So my question would be like, what kind of steps you want to take, maybe personally, maybe not as a festival, but maybe also as a festival, if you like, toward the whole community, the whole society.
I think it's a lot about raising awareness on different topics, because I feel like sometimes people, like even in my work environment or in my family, many people are not really aware what the issues are, and they're like, oh yeah, we live in Germany here, it's so good here, everything's fine, like I don't know what you are even complaining about. Like I'm always the one complaining and getting in fights at home, and I think it's just really important to talk about those issues, and especially for me as a white person, to talk about topics that don't even affect me personally, but being an ally to my friends. And just, yeah, I just want Germany to be a nice place to live, and I feel like that's something that's very important to me personally, but that's also something we can do with the festival, like raising awareness and also giving a platform to people that otherwise wouldn't have a platform on other festivals and get the main stage. Like it's so empowering seeing people take over and having room to spread their message. And then that resonates with people sitting there and like, oh yeah, this is how it could be. Like, I want to hear more of that and what's more to learn. And that's just, yeah, that's like kind of the vision. And it always, yeah, like as you said, it gets in those big words, but that's like really what we are passionate about, I think.
I asked this question that sounds like a little bit stupid actually, but it's like I like the job that I got because I'm meeting a lot of people and that makes me like learn things, you know. That's why I'm asking this kind of questions to see, I don't know, different perspectives on things that maybe people out of my bubble circle sees, and that's why I'm asking this question. And part of this process is like also to understand what's like, as we said before, you know, what is socioculture, what is socioculture, and I have so many different ways that people, like each person gave me a different answer. And there's like, of course there's like this academic definition, but also there's like people opinions on it, and like everybody have like different perspectives, so I'm like interested to know also your perspective. So I would like the three of you to give me like, I don't know, what does like socioculture means to you.
I can try to make a start. Funny thing is, my last employer was working in social culture, but after 1 year of working there, I didn't fully get the concept of what is social culture. So um, I'm not sure if there's a proper definition to this term. Like what comes to my mind immediately when I think of social culture is what is happening like within a city, within a certain district, when, for example, a community center for young people, or in general, a community center where citizens come together, and when they do cultural program or when they consume cultural things, that's for me where social cultural things are happening in a classical definition, probably. So it's locally based. It's within districts of cities, or can also be rural area. Of course, you also have community centers in the rural areas, but as we're coming from cities, I'm going to focus on that. So, and usually these places are supported by the state, like they get fundings, they're institutions. But this is like the classical way of defining it. I'm not sure if this is applying towards us, because we're not operating locally. Like, we're a team of people in Leipzig, in Berlin, in Hamburg, even beyond that, like also in other cities, even other countries. And we're not focused or destined to one place, like Hamburg or like Berlin. So we either bring people together from different places in one area, which is our festival. So that might not apply to the classical definition of social culture, but I think when you look at the two words like socio and culture, it's like, I don't know, maybe temporary society coming together, participating in a cultural event. And what happens between that is what for me could be a social cultural event or gathering. So yeah, it's hard to define, and maybe it needs an upgrade. Maybe what you experienced, that everybody's giving you different answers, shows that, I don't know, it's outdated or it's an upgrade?
I think it's a really big word. Culture is such a big word. We could talk hours or weeks about this word, but I think to me it's really basic. To me, socioculture means um, what happens when humans get together. How do we want to interact in or regarding the question in what kind of society do I want to live in, and what do I want to create? And to me, cultural events always have to do something with art, basically. And we focused on art and on music, but it's way, 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 way more than just a music and art festival. And I think socioculture also means reflecting a lot and learning and evolving and yeah, always be in some kind of interaction, human interaction. And that's why it's so interesting, because we're trying to get new perspectives and new people. And also right now with the onboarding process, there are people, they're just amazing, and I cannot wait to work with them and then experience how we change ourselves and change our festival.
Yeah, for me, it's also really hard to grasp, but I feel like at times people like discuss political concepts in a very in a way that it's a lot of theory but not as practical. And I feel like in Soziokultur it comes together in a practical form, because we live in culture, like that's where our life happens. And when we come together for a social interaction, and that's when politics actually happen, and that's when we actually learn what kind of topics are close to our hearts and what are the issues that we are dealing with. And I feel like that's also where change happens, because that's when we realize something is not as good as we would like it to be, and that's when thinking processes start. And that's, I think that's like more the change within, and not so much like somebody way up high says, yeah, this is how it should be, and I try to put it on you. But for me, it's more like those are the processes that start from within, and that's why it can feel powerful, I think.
Very interesting, Leute. Okay, I have to ask my last question. You got funded by Fonds Soziokultur, and that's like, how does this fund like affect your work and your plan? And does it like change anything in your plans, if it does anything?
For me, the I'm actually being completely honest. For me, the socioculture funding is like the highest privilege we enjoy, because we can focus just on us. And I think what we can do with it is we get more time, and we get resources to reflect and learn. And the workshops we did, they were so fucking empowering. And I learned so much more than in my studies. I think I learned on these weekends where we came together and really had the time to think and to talk and to be um, open, to talk about our fears, to talk about problems, and to talk about aims, and to have the possibility to fund this is also for me a kind of way to fight classistic structures, because we could never all pay 4 weekends in a year where we just come together and have to pay the accommodation and food and transport and stuff. So to me, this is a lot of freedom, how I want to spend my time and what I want to learn. And yeah, so I think that is basically the and that's not the most important thing, but for our team, for our development, it's just insanely good. Yeah, I love it. I love talking to my friends and my family about this, and they're all overwhelmed that we have these kind of opportunities. It's just yeah, I feel really privileged and really, really thankful.
And I'm not as involved in the funding process, so I don't really know how the workflow went or anything like that. But for me, funding in general, it was really powerful to our project because we were doing this for the very first time, and getting funding meant that people believe in our festival and not just our friends and family who like everything we do most of the time, but like actual but like actual professionals that deal with those kind of projects on a daily basis were seeing the concept and thought that this is worth some money. So yeah, that was really like giving us a sense of security and validation that we are going in the right direction.
This podcast is supported by Fonds Soziokultur. The music is composed by Benjamin Berry. See you in the next episode.